Hello YouTube, it's your boy Nathan coming to you to do another recap video. Today we are talking Married at First Sight season 19 episodes 11 and 12. I'm done and decision day is near. And that is absolutely right. Decision day is there and we're nearly done. Like I said, I like this version of Peacock. We're just going right through the season. We don't have to drag it out as much. Next week is the last week. We'll see decision day and reunion. All right. So in these two episodes, we wrapped up basically the couples retreat that they always do, and like we're gonna start with Brittany and Will. Like they're having it's really up and down with them because one minute they're not getting along, they're frustrated with each other. Brittany says when she gets overwhelmed, she gets irritated, and Will, he said that, in previous relationships, he did not text heart emojis or like just basically was really affectionate with the people that he was dating before and stuff and everything. So Brittany says that she likes the fact that he is really genuine with her. Now we've seen them go on a date, like on this little boat ride and everything. And they're trying to get it together and stuff and everything. And Brittany had asked Will, how does, they always say they love each other and everything, but how does, Brittany asked, how does affection affiliate with love, basically? And Will says it's more by the action than just the words, basically. And, and they talked about how back on the honeymoon that excuse me, that they that Will said that if when Brittany asked, do you think we could have like a genuine connection, and he said like basic maybe, or it's coming or whatever, the other couple said that they were probably shut down with that. But when he gave his response, Brittany again got a little bit defensive on that and everything. And he was like, like no matter what I say, it's just turning into something like more than what it needs to be, really, basically. And she somewhat apologized for that, but I see like with this actually this entire cast is that every little thing that is said, they get defensive about it. So, I think that's something the whole cast needs to work on. But nonetheless, Brittany and Will, I think next week for Decision Day, because we didn't see much of them, now they're starting to become a little bit more affectionate and, just hanging out more. We seen them play some volleyball at a school and everything, and they do enjoy each other's company. So it's really up and down with them too. It's hard to really get a read on them and everything. I just don't know like where they're at in their minds and stuff and everything, but we'll see what they say next week. So yeah, that was Brittany and Will. Next couple I want to talk is Rhonda and Patrick. So Rhonda and Patrick, remember they didn't go on the couples retreat because they went to Rhonda's family reunion, and we found out that Rhonda's stepfather is really ill and everything, and she was playing with her like and it looks like her nieces and nephews and her other kids from her family, and she told them to pray for them and everything. And then she had a conversation with Patrick about that whole calendar thing, and then buying tickets to something and then not including her and everything. And Patrick has just feel like no matter what I do, you're just gonna react that way and everything. And then later we seen Patrick meet up with his friend for lunch, and then Rhonda joined them later. And his friend, he told his friend what he's been doing, like with every conversation, she feels like it has to be more about her and everything. Now his friend basically said, like, you have to quit doing that. It is dumb how you do that. You got to really listen to her more and make things more heard. And I understand how you feel. I know you mean no harm by it, but you got to listen to her more and everything. Rhonda comes in and she hears that, and she's like basically excited, but she gets up and goes to the bathroom, just starts crying. And she told the producer, like, oh, he understands. I just don't understand why. I don't understand why Pat doesn't understand and everything. And we seen Rhonda and Patrick have that conversation, Rhonda asked him, like, you feel like you're not yourself around me and everything. And she's like, I don't want you to feel like you can't be yourself when you're around me, basically. And Pat said that it's not about. He said it's not about her and everything, but he's lying when he says that, because it is about her. Because every little thing, like it's going to be vulnerable in a situation, and then like hear like whatever Rhonda's opening up about and everything, and not going into the questions about it and stuff and everything. But I think there's a time and a place, and I feel like, and I said this last week, every time like Patrick and Rhonda are having a conversation and Rhonda's telling him something and then he says something else with it, she gets mad. And it's more selfish on her part than it is him, I feel like, because we don't really see her getting to know him and asking him questions and everything. And she gets mad when he does that to her and stuff. So like I feel like at this point, like Patrick just, like, I think he just feels scared, really, because no matter what he does, he can't win, and that's how she's making him out to be. Now she claims she don't want him to be like that, but she's not doing a very good job. But nonetheless, we got the devastating news. We found out that her stepfather in the episode did pass, and that's unfortunate. And Rhonda said that that her stepdad and mom got married on the exact same. Their anniversary was on the same date that Patrick and Rhonda got married. So that is really sad and everything. But they had a conversation, and as they're preparing for decision day, Patrick said, Rhonda wants Patrick to, like, no matter what, like, be there side by side me, not behind me, not over me, but side by side and everything. And Patrick is like, yeah, he wants to, like, do everything he can, to make her feel comfort and everything. So they're just like Brittany and Will. You don't know. One minute they just are just like annoyed with each other. Next minute they're lovey dovey. And which one is it? And everything. Like, it's a lot of I feel like it's just a lot of false hope with this couple, in my opinion. But yeah. But anyway, that was Patrick and Rhonda. But rest in peace, Rhonda's stepfather. May God rest his soul. Next couple I want to talk is Jalen and Josh. We didn't see really much of them. Like, they had their little rough moments. We seen them go out to this restaurant and do some acts. They did some axe throwing and everything. And they talked about, like, going somewhere, and they realized that, like, going to this place. Remember the controversy last week about the building the community thing, and the festival thing and the concert thing and whatever. But they were talking about going somewhere else in this episode and, like, doing that together, and they realized that they couldn't, like, do that alone, basically. So that was really sweet. But Jalen did say that sometimes, like, sometimes Josh can be a little bit would give out, like, these basically these sorry these affirmations. Sometimes she don't, basically what she's trying to say, that sometimes these words don't match up to how he really feels. Basically, he can say all these nice things and make it all sound good, but does he really mean it, basically, and everything? And so she said that's basically her concern with it and everything. And last week, remember, she seen a side of him that she didn't like when he was reacting to not wanting to talk about the vows and everything, and then him flipping out and stuff and everything. But I feel like Jalen and Josh have, like, a good foundation where I think they can navigate everything, because they're in the lovey-dovey stage. So Jalen is a really positive person, and Josh is, like, a really good, hardworking person and everything. I think they mesh well together. I do think the experts got it right with matching this couple, in my opinion, whether if it works out or not. But they just gotta really get on the same track on their, I wouldn't say their priorities, but their hobbies. Because not everybody's gonna have the same hobbies. I know when you're looking for a relationship and you want to find someone who's just like you or has similar interests, yes, that helps. But sometimes not everybody you find is gonna have the exact same lives. I'm so different from a lot of people. Like, like with me and my girlfriend, I love sports. My girlfriend hates sports. So so my girlfriend loves the crime shows. I love more reality dating shows. So like, it's you gotta, we both try to like entertain what each other's hobbies are, but at the same time we don't force it on each other and everything. I think both of us would like us to do the same thing, but it's not always going to be that way, and that is fine. We don't have to break up over that. We don't have to say, oh, we're two completely different people because of that, because we're really similar in a lot of other aspects. So I think Jalen and Josh could have a good foundation if they just finding more common ground, and if going to this thing that they were talking about in the episode is something that they don't want to do alone. Good for them. So I really hope they do well. So yeah, that was Jalen and Josh. Next couple I want to talk is Megan and Derek. So as we all know, Megan and Derek are pregnant. Megan is only a couple weeks pregnant at this time. I think she's due. I think this season was filmed in 2024, basically. So she was due in late November, December of last year, basically. I don't know. Like obviously there's been no leaks about the baby and stuff and everything, or pictures and stuff and everything. So I hope by reunion we get to see that and everything. So, but in these episodes, she Megan was just like, I'm surprised everybody at the retreat was not questioning about my non-alcoholic wine. Basically, I didn't even know they made non-alcoholic wine. So somebody send that to me. I would like to try non-alcoholic wine because I don't drink. So they leave the retreat, and they have some friends that have like 3 kids, because Derek actually wants to have 3 kids, basically, and Megan wanted triplets or twins and triplets, basically, joking out of that. So, in order to test the waters here, Megan and Derek decided to babysit their friends' 3 kids, and they were all boys, and just to see how they could do by being parents. And the boys were well behaved. Megan and Derek had a lot of activities outside with them, playing just like shooting off things and just rolling around playing ball and stuff and everything. It was really cute and everything. And then when their parents came back and picked them up and everything, they were like, can we stay? Can we stay? And they were like, no, but we'll definitely do this another time. And I do think Megan and Derek will make good parents, because they did a really good job with it, with those kids and stuff and everything. Now, my only thing with Megan is, I don't know, for the beginning of the season, I thought Megan was going to be the villain type thing, because how easily she will always get defensive about every little thing, from the dog situation to the kid conversation before she got pregnant and everything. I thought she was going to be the villain, but then and then when we found out she was pregnant, she started like chilling out a little bit. Now, she couldn't take she likes to play pranks, but she couldn't take the pranks when they threw water balloons at him last week's episode and stuff and everything. She couldn't handle that. I'm like you like to play pranks. It's one of those you could dish it, but you can't take it type things. But oh well. So she wasn't as bad as I thought she was going to be, but I still had the side eye on her this season and stuff and everything. So later we see Megan and Derek. They go out car shopping. They're trying to get a new car to see if it could fit for the baby and stuff and everything. And they're preparing for a decision day and everything and stuff. We also see Megan and Derek. Megan's parents come over, and so they could break the news to the parents. And they had like this box and stuff and everything, and they were sitting at the table, and the parents were like, we were having an addition to our family. And then they first said the dog and everything, and Megan's mom was like, oh, if it was kids, I would have been so excited. But so then Megan goes and gets this little box, and it has like the pregnancy testing in it, and her mom and dad was like, are there pregnancy tests in here? And they were like, and they opened it, and yes, there was. And the mom and her mom and dad did not believe her at first. They were like, you like to play pranks all the time. I don't believe this one bit." And her and Derek were like, "It's true. It's true. We are pregnant." And then the mom was like, "Are you serious? Are you sure?" I'm like, 100%. And she's like, "Okay, well, I'm excited now." I'm excited now and everything. And yeah, she mentioned how, like the baby's due in November, December, or whatever, and everything. So peaches and roses, but I don't know, because we seen a clip where they were talking about how they don't have to be together to raise the baby. When you say things like that, that that's a I feel like that's a recipe for disaster. So, and I'll get to my decision day predictions again later when I finish the last couple, but yeah, I'll circle back to that. So, but that was Megan and Derek, and the last couple I want to talk is Belinda and Chad. Now, the last couple of weeks, it's just been quiet with them. Chad's been all Mr. Goody Tushies, like cooking for the family, saying, "I love you, we're going to be together forever," blah, 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 and all that. But Chad is so over this Married at First Sight experience. He is done. Like, he has shut down completely because of this. He's taken his frustration out on Belinda, and it's not cool. So basically, he there was like a scheduling conflict with his job and filming and everything, and he just told production that he ain't filming today, and he's already had to change his schedule with work and everything, and he's irritated with that, and he's been taking it out on Belinda. So Chad also feels like production is drawing her wedge in between their relationship, and he said he's talked to Josh, and Josh has said the same thing. So Chad told Belinda that, and obviously Belinda is Jalen's mom. So Belinda was like, "I'm gonna call Jalen and Josh to see if that's true or not." So Belinda calls Jalen and says, "Has production like drove a winch between y'all?" Like, Chad said that he's called Josh and talked to Josh, and Jalen said like, I heard their conversation, saw the conversation, and they did not talk. They did not talk about that. I was there, and they did not talk about that. So Belinda and Chad go out to this like robot restaurant and whatever, and talk about it and stuff and everything. And Chad is just like, "I'm done with this production. I'm done with filming. I'm done. I'm done. Like, this is not going to be realistic when we get into real life." He kept on saying, "I love you. I really love you. And I feel like we're going to work, but this is just too much," basically. But Belinda was like, "But this is part of the process. Like, you signed up to be at Married at First Sight, bro. And so you can't get mad that I understand it is frustrating with the cameras in your face and producers in your ear all the time, but this is what you sign up for. This is exactly what you sign up for. They're going to be like that and everything." Now, I get that you don't want nothing scripted, and that's totally fine and everything, but I feel like that you can't take your anger out on production and stuff. Like, no matter what, and we have this issue, I know, on 90 Day Fiance, where, I know certain cast members have come out and said they didn't really get along with production. Production made them look worse than what they really are and stuff and everything, which I think is such BS, basically. But they're there to help. They're part of this. They have to do this. They have to film for TV and stuff, because this is still a TV show, and I get that. So Belinda and Chad just argued about it back and forth. They did decide to call Dr. Pia and make a Dr. Pia visit to discuss things about it and stuff. And they opened up how they do love each other and they do want to make this work, but now he's been living separate. They've been living separate for the last couple of days and stuff, because how frustrated he's been. When they were talking to Dr. Pia, he was saying that, "I don't tell her to not sleep with the dog near me, because I know that would hurt her. But she's just like, if you want me, if you haven't communicated that with me, if you want me to not sleep with the dog, I will, for you and everything." and everything. And then, Dr. Pia had to intervene, like, okay, this is something that I'm going to intervene. This is something that we don't want to go completely off the rails with, basically. But it's just with Belinda and Chad, it's just like it would start out like, okay, let's talk about this. I'm sorry for acting this way and everything, but then there's still no resolution to it. So I don't know. Like I said, I knew something was wrong when I found out that Chad's been married four times, and now I see it. I see his attitude, and he likes to shut down and act immature. Dude, you're 54 years old, and again, you knew what you signed up for. Grow up. Like I said, I understand, but even Dr. Pia said like they're not coming out of the place for harm or anything. They have, and yes, they have to collaborate with the schedules and stuff, with the jobs and filming and stuff. But they're not here to, these producers are not nothing like 90 Day producers. You wouldn't last a day on the 90 Day Fiance, bro. Just saying, if you're having a hard time on Married at First Sight, you wouldn't last a day on 90 Day Fiance. Just saying. So yeah, so I don't know what's going to happen to them. And now with them getting frustrated with each other, now they're questioning if they're going to stay married. Because Belinda said that he keeps on saying yes on decision day, but when decision day comes, I don't think it's going to be a yes. And she's right. So now before I wrap up, I'm going to give my predictions again. Now, throughout the beginning of the season, like I follow Mass fans on social media, and Mass fans is for the most part is pretty accurate. They said that according to Mass fan, all 5 couples stay together on decision day, basically. But he also posted that all 5 couples are broken up by reunion. Now they said that they don't know if that's 100% factual, but here's my prediction. I'll keep the prediction that all 5 couples say yes on decision day. But by reunion, let's talk about by reunion. I think Brittany and Will be done by reunion. 100% Ronna and Patrick will be done by reunion. Jalen and Josh could still be together by reunion, but probably breaking up after reunion. Belinda and Chad will be done at reunion. And I think that Megan and Derek will stay together because of the baby. But I would like to find out more insight on the baby, but we'll see that more in the next week's episode when we do decision day and reunion. So that's just my prediction. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this. It's been a quick season, and again, and I apologize how like short and cryptic my reviews of the season has been compared to last season. Next season, I think next season is going to be in Seattle, I believe. So when I do the Seattle season, I will do 1 episode at a time next season instead of like multiple at once. That kind of just threw me off and I'm all over the place. So again, I apologize for being all over the place on these reviews this season. I know it wasn't my best work, but I'll get better. But anyway, guys, that is the end of my reviews. I will be back on tomorrow, Monday, to recap 90 Day Fiancé Happily Ever After Part 2 of the Tell All. And so until then, y'all stay safe and have a good one. Please like and subscribe to my channel. Again, please check that if you are subscribed, that you're still subscribed, because YouTube is unsubscribing people and channels and stuff. So please make sure you're subscribed to my channel. And I'll see y'all again soon. Love you guys. Bye.